So just tell us a little bit about you, and then we'll go from there.
Yeah, absolutely. So I am a mum of a beautiful 2-year-old boy and also a senior exec in an IT company. And, I've always had a love and passion for personal development, fitness and health and all of those things. And was really looking forward to not only finding a program that would help me get back in shape and all of that stuff from having a baby, but more importantly, so I could really get in touch with me as a woman.
What was going on in your life? Like, how were you feeling at the time where you reached out and decided to work together and coach with me?
Yeah. So I'd already started in my process of getting back in shape. I think, I had a personal trainer, I was seeing a nutritionist, I was seeing a whole host of people. But I think the piece that was missing for me was, even though I was making really great changes and progress in those areas, it wasn't feeling different.
So in like 3 to 4 words, how were you feeling when we first spoke, when you reached out?
Flat, definitely tired and exhausted. Yeah, flat was the big one. I've been watching you for a while, and I think the thing that really attracted me to you and the program was that it was a lifestyle, but there was integrity behind it. And I think that was the thing that attracted me to it. And then as I read through the program and the copy, it was also backed by science, and it was backed by, it wasn't a fluffy thing either. So the fact that you had married the two together and there was practical things that could be implemented, there was support with nutrition, there was exercise, and then there was the heart and the flow, and then you were living it and embodying it. That's what really drew me to the program. And I have to say, the integrity that I saw in your social media posts and all of that really did shine through in the program. So it's nice to be on this side knowing that what I was seeing was real. So many I see online, and it's not to diss any program because I think there's programs for different people. But what resonated for this program with me was work is really important to me. Achievement is really important to me. And I really loved that with the program as well, because you get high achieving women, which is really important.
Yeah. I tend to attract high achieving women who are hardworking and really, I wonder why. Yeah. I've been through my own journey with that. And I don't think it ever stops. Like, we don't change who we are, but we can change how we're showing up and how we're getting those results, whether we get it from a forceful, masculine way where we get burnt out, or whether we cultivate it more from the feminine and intuition and through understanding and connection. So tell me what happened during the time that we worked together. So obviously we worked together one-on-one. Yeah, what was like a breakthrough for you, or like an epiphany? Tell me.
There was a couple actually, but I've had experience in personal development. So I think when I first came in, there was a little bit of I wasn't coming in with a mindset of I know this, because I was really open, and as I said to you, I really trusted what you were saying. I think there was a little bit of the egg hadn't cracked, where I was like, yep, got it. And we had a really great session where I didn't have to be perfect and I didn't have to put my face on, and I could be really honest that I was like, that interaction really triggered me without worrying about, are you going to get offended or any of that sort of stuff. And to actually come into a session and have that level of honesty and no falseness, no bravado, no acting, all of that mask gone. And also it's changed how I'm parenting. I'm really mindful of how I'm parenting my son and allowing how he's experiencing emotions and the value of self-love. And it's like, well, I want that for my son. I would love for him to love and respect himself. Well, I can tell him that every single day, but if he's witnessing me not loving myself and not being good to myself, well, I'm his teacher. My life is his teacher, his classroom. And so that was a really big turning point for me, because I was like, you know what, I can't just say the stuff. I'm good at saying that stuff. Like, I've got to really live it and feel it. And it doesn't always come out pretty, and it doesn't always come out without a blubbery mess, and that's okay.
What was like a turning point for you that you can identify like as like the turning point, if that was one?
Yeah, absolutely. It was that session that we had in the group where I cried in front of the group. That was a massive turning point for a number of reasons. It was about being genuinely authentic to myself around my feelings. Like I am an authentic and truthful person. I think though I stuffed feelings down, I had always done that, and that's where food was coming in, and realizing that food wasn't the issue, it was emotional stuff that was the issue. So learning that in that session was really powerful. Also trusting a group of women to hold a space for me while being emotional, because I feel like I've usually played that role for women, but I haven't allowed myself to do that. And realizing it's safe to do that I'm not going to get criticized, and even if I did, it didn't really matter. That was a big turning point. And then finally in that session, you took the time to actually, pretty much that whole session was spent just on me. And in my head, I was like, oh my gosh, there are other people, like, you know, you're taking up too much time. And I remember you saying, you're not taking up time or space. This is okay. But to actually sit there and bring a whole host of emotions and share things that I hadn't shared publicly ever before, and to cry and to really take that time and to be that raw and do something that might not be that socially acceptable, and it to be okay. That was so transformational. That was pretty impressive. I think the best bit that I love about this journey is, even though I've still got 10 to go, that I don't really mind when that 10 happens. It's not about the 10, because I really do love how I am now, and I'm enjoying life, and clothes feel really great, and I feel really healthy and vibrant. A lot of the eating stuff that I've struggled with for years, I had eating disorders when I was a ballerina back in the day and all of that sort of stuff, and that's lifted as well. So food is now enjoyed. I remember we did this chocolate thing where we got to savor chocolate, and food's now really enjoyed, and I know there's nothing that I can't have. It's all just about respecting yourself in the process. And yeah, I have energy, like I'm running around, and people at work are saying it's so nice to have you back, like it's great to see, like the energy's back, the focus is back. And also embracing my new identity as both work mum and me. There's still more to explore in that area, but I absolutely do feel more feminine, and there's a lot more grace. And I think the self-love and compassion and kindness has really brought that forward too. And I feel really empowered being feminine and feeling that and embracing that. And you're right, it's not about lipstick, it's not about a face cream. It's so much more than that. There's all the beautiful feeling part of femininity, but there's also really practical things around femininity. And tracking the cycle is really key. And well, for me, it was really key in understanding. I can say I've tried pretty much everything. I would say give it a go. I think what I would say is firstly, there's nothing wrong with you, and you're not broken. You don't need fixing. There are things that you're likely to want to change. And if you are really, really sincere in wanting to change, then this program's going to be great for you. And the reason why it's great for you is it's not a one size fits all program. Even though there is structure around the program, which is really great because there's stuff to grab onto and there's so much support material and resources available. And the great thing about the program is it's going to help you find your success blueprint and what's going to work for you. And so maybe the reason why things hadn't worked in the past is maybe they weren't the right thing for you. And this program will help you find and identify and bring forth the thing that is right for you. I sincerely believe that. It's nice hearing things from different sources because, again, it does help you create your own formula, because you actually get to be an active participant, choosing what you're embodying, what you're not, and what you're believing and what you're not. And couldn't speak more highly of the program. I'm open to be challenged because maybe I'm not applying it in a way, or actually it doesn't fit because it shouldn't fit for me, and let's change that. And I really appreciated that because it's partnership. I felt like I was in partnership as opposed to being preached at.
One last question. What would you say to someone who's not used to putting themselves first or investing in themselves?
I think the thing that I would say is take small steps in allowing that to open up. I think the word allowing is meet yourself where you're at and allow yourself to come from a place from where you're at, and then little by little allow that to grow and expand. Just take a step and do something good for yourself and allow yourself to feel that, and then allow it to feel good, and then allow it to be repeated. And, you know, I think that was the other nice thing about the program too. I remember, put yourself first and look after yourself, and realize that it's such a selfless thing to do that, because then it gives you, if you're overflowing and full, you're actually able to give more to people and from a really beautiful place. So if you can't at first do it for yourself, then do it for those that you love, because they'll benefit from it.
Such a pleasure to have you here, and thank you so much for sharing your story and vulnerability and honestly sharing yourself with us and all the women who are going to be watching this, and you know, hopefully be inspired that things are possible and changes. It's not that far away, you know, it just requires a different approach and going a different way about it.
Absolutely. And when the change comes from within, you can enjoy the change while the external stuff is catching up. And I think that's the other nice thing about the program, is 12 weeks to finish off some, 12-week program or something like that. I think that's the nicest part too. You get to enjoy it the whole way through.
Yeah, you can't get there. You can't get to happiness by losing weight, but you get to become happy and radiant and fulfilled, and then as a result of that, you lose weight.
Absolutely.
Thank you again. Such a pleasure. Have a beautiful, beautiful day.
You too, Nick.
Soon.
Okay. See you, beautiful. Bye.